Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade.
1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell them turn it out till they get no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes me.
Everybody likes getting free money.
Don't you?
I do.
Free money's nice.
It is nice, and especially when you run into a situation when you're at a spot when you're in need, like a bad situation arises, and you get support out of something.
Yeah,
car breaks down. It's your only mode of transportation, and people gather around. Americans especially, but people as a whole are amazing people. And you'll get these people who will do the GoFundMe pages, and suddenly, the person not only can pay for their car, but it makes up for the wages that they've lost.
Right.
And it helps ease things along a little bit.
Easy peasy.
And it's great.
It's like Easy Street, really.
It is.
It's like you're playing the game on easy mode.
It is. Well, there was a lady back in 2013, an Australian woman. Mm-hmm. Her name was Hannah Dickinson.
Really?
Which I'm sorry, but I can't hear the name Dickinson without thinking of Letterkenny.
Dixon.
Anyway, told her friends and family that she had been diagnosed with excuse me, I can't read that word. Leiomyosarcoma. Leiomyosarcoma.
Leiomyosarcoma.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Leiomyosarcoma.
That's right.
A rare form of cancer that she only had a couple months to live.
Oh no.
So tragic.
Oh no.
Because obviously rare cancers are the ones that kill faster.
Oh no.
It is. As anyone would when faced with the terminal illness of a loved one.
Sure.
Dickinson's family and friends gave her money for overseas cancer treatments.
Dude, that's awesome.
It is. She even petitioned the Australian government for funds to cover her health costs, and she received a little over $100,000 to treat her illness.
That's really nice.
Isn't it great?
That is so good.
So wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Except she never had cancer.
Wait, she was diagnosed.
Dickinson, now 27, used $41,770 received from her friends and family to take vacations to Thailand and Hong Kong. She also purchased excessive amounts of alcohol, cocaine, and MDMA, according to The Age, which is a news outlet out of Australia. Dickinson was sent to jail in 2018 for her fraud, but was able to appeal her case and avoid more prison time. Now, however, she is being kept in jail for another year as more evidence of her fraud comes to light. Quote, amid this deception, Dickinson also claimed a disability support pension from the federal government. The county court heard on Tuesday received $100,203 in benefits between January of 2014 and October of 2018.
Wow,
that's a lot of money.
That's a bit of change. I mean, over 4 years, it's really not. It's like $20,000.
Nobody is seeing the miracle that she lived past.
She
the
lived
month.
for more than 3 months.
Yeah, nobody saw that as being
a problem.
A problem at all?
Well, doctors, they're really not great on these timelines. It could be 3 months. It could be 35 years.
Who knows? It could be tomorrow, for all we know.
Yeah.
She did so on the back of 3 false documents that she said had been written by a doctor, a surgeon, and a cancer specialist, and then had her mother, who was also duped, write a letter of support and lodge the application for the pension on her behalf, end quote. As News Chant, because who doesn't read News Chant, reported, a judge ordered Dickinson to serve 1 year 1 year
1 year.
of her new 2.5-year sentence, earlier than demanded. Dickinson was originally supposed to avoid jail in exchange for $1,000 recognizance order that required her to behave for 3 years. So she got an order saying that you better be good, which basically led to put it in American
She's got a
terms.
PFJ.
Well, it's
It's a PFJ.
either that or if you get it, she got accused, convicted, and sentenced, and the sentencing was I just had it in my head, suspended.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
She got a PFJ.
Yeah, as long
That's
as
what it is.
Well, no. PFJ.
It's not suspended. It's
Well, no.
barring good behavior.
Yeah, barring good behavior. So she has to behave and not get in trouble for anything for 3 years. That's suspended. If she does it, she's gonna have to serve the full bit.
Right.
Prayer for judgment is it's supposed to be like expunge everything, allegedly.
Well, technically, that's what this is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's tomato.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Tomato. The Age reported that even after she was punished for her initial deception, she attempted to, quote, obtain a $30,000 car loan through falsified documents, which breached an existing community correction order. You know, it's pretty bad.
It kind of sounds like she's a cheater.
I was gonna say it's pretty bad that in part of you're getting in trouble, you're not allowed to get a car, any kind of a loan of any kind.
Any kind at all.
And I mean, I understand if you're a horrible person who's going to lie about that kind of stuff, you don't need to be allowed to be having it. No. That's just kind of weird.
It is weird.
It's just weird.
It's very weird.
Quote, this was a sophisticated and sustained fraud perpetrated over a number of years. Again, she only had months to live. No one saw that coming, apparently. As according to Judge Dawes, it said as Dickinson sobbed and wiped her eyes in a video link from prison. Of course she sobbed.
Yeah, she's crying because she wants to get the tears, the sympathy vote.
The jig is up. They got her. The offending was motivated by greed committed against the public purse, according to Judge Dawes, and Dickinson had ample time to reconsider, but she continued claiming benefits even after 3 weeks in jail in 2018 until the government department realized it had been swindled.
They realized.
The judge, they finally.
How did you realize?
I don't know.
Because she was in jail, maybe?
Yeah, something.
Maybe you were sending the money to the Department of Justice?
And you know what? That judge, she got real stern with her.
Oh, yeah?
You ready?
Real stern.
Here's the quote. Quote from the judge to Miss Dickinson. I consider your conduct disgraceful. End quote.
You know.
That showed her.
Hold on. Hold on.
How dare you?
Wait. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
You know what?
Not really.
I wish more judges would actually conduct themselves in this manner.
I know.
Honestly.
I don't even want it to be that classy. I consider your conduct disgraceful. I don't want that. I want somebody to go, God, you know what? You're a douche.
I'm just saying, like, where's the decorum, man?
I don't need decorum in a judge. I would love to see a judge sit up there. And
I've seen a judge just be like, you're an ass. Not to me. Thank you.
But that would be so funny, though. And then turn around and you hear everybody else in the courtroom. You got it, Judge. Woo!
Good job, Judge.
Yeah. You're being held in contempt for a crime, for a case you're not even a part of.
You're all next. Shut up.
Don't think I'm going so light. Dickinson, who has a past conviction of steering $10,168 of tenants' rent money into her own account while she worked as a property manager, is to face court again next year on other fraud charges. She blamed her lies and deception on a lonely childhood and claims that she was bullied when she was younger, which led to her seeking out alcohol and drugs to make friends.
That doesn't mean you lie, cheat, and steal.
No, I'm sorry, but is that really that's everybody's go-to? I was bullied. They picked on me.
I had a terrible childhood. My mommy told me no 5 times.
Why can't anybody just turn around and come up with something original?
Just be okay. All right. It's a D&D campaign. Come up with a better storyline. Everybody is an orphan in D&D. Everyone.
It's how it always goes.
Everyone's an orphan in D&D. Come up with a better storyline.
Yeah. Find something. Just be
Everyone who
different.
says it wasn't their fault had a problematic childhood. Come up with a different story.
No, why couldn't, that's what I'm saying. Why blame it, instead of blaming it on a lonely childhood and poor, pitiful me and blah, blah, why not come at it from another angle? Why not say something like, you know what, I had an amazing childhood. I hardly got told no. I never really did anything wrong, but it was one of those things I wanted to test the boundaries and see how far I could go.
Apparently,
By God,
I found it.
Because to say, at least then, you could still be reprehensible, but at least, people would kind of pat you on the back. Not pat you on the back.
Well, yeah, they'd say, well, as long as you don't do anything else.
Yeah, but at least you can go, well, kudos.
You now found the boundaries.
You found your line.
You idiot.
That's the weirdest way of, self-discovery, but hey. Quote, you wanted to party hard and maintain an extravagant lifestyle. That was according to Judge Dawes.
Also true.
And that was probably more truth than anything. So, yes. So if you ever decide that you want to swindle people and the government out of $100,000 or more,
right,
I probably would not go with a rare case of cancer.
Yeah.
So,
Stealth Jackal over on the Twitters, Leo my ass sarcoma.
that's exactly it. That's the best way to enunciate it as well.
Right. Also, Big Pharma Steve over there giving you a good thumbs up, saying good job.
Thank you.
Hashtag nailed it.
Thank you.
Like a pro.
I can do, like I said, I can read the ingredients off of a shampoo bottle, but I'll be damned if there's certain words that just, and you know what? And I figured it out why. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Do you know why I can read those giant names and words
Why?
on?
No, I have no idea why.
Because in English language, depending on the word,
Phonetics.
I was going to say the combination of two letters can sometimes change depending on where they're at and blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Mm-hmm. In those Latin words that they use to spell out the ingredients, say on a shampoo bottle, there's no, each one of the letters say their letter. There's no wonky changing depending on where it sits.
Right. It's just the same all the way through.
It's all the basic stuff. So that's what makes it easier to be able to enunciate it. And all you got to do is remember there's always a cadence of da 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 da. And as long as you can do that, you're good.
Yep. If you have a cadence, you can keep it going.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I can't read normal English, but hey.
Speaking of judges, federal judge on Sunday barred state officials in Georgia from wiping Dominion voting machines in 3 Atlanta area counties after Republican electors filed an emergency motion seeking their inspection.
So the judge had to step in and say, don't erase things in the middle of an election
Recount.
season. Of a recount in election season.
Yeah, U.S. District Judge Timothy Batten Sr., which his order, which applies to voting machines in Cobb, Gwinnett, and Cherokee counties, came about after pro-Trump attorney Sidney Powell filed a lawsuit in the state alleging that the machines were manipulated to procure an election victory for the Democratic nominee Joe Biden.
In the Atlanta area too?
In the Atlantas.
Huh.
Yeah.
The Stacey Abrams area.
Yeah, the Abrams
Wow, that
area.
would be a shocker.
The
wouldn't
Cobb
it?
County specifically.
Yeah, that would be really weird.
Plaintiffs in the case, including conservative teen pundit C.J. Pearson. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I have no idea who that is.
It must be,
Are seeking an order to allow them to forensically inspect machines for evidence of fraud. Quote, defendants are hereby enjoined and restrained from altering, destroying, or erasing, or allowing the alterations, destruction, or erasure of any software data on any Dominion voting machines in Cobb, Gwinnett, Cherokee counties. The order stated, this temporary restraining order shall remain in effect for 10 days or until further orders of the court, whichever comes first.
I have this really weird feeling that they're gonna come across some of them that, oh no, we didn't get that memo in time. These were already cleaned up. Oh no. That's what I have a bad feeling.
Yeah,
Call me crazy,
maybe.
but I'm just saying.
It's one of those things. Yeah. Batten also ordered a group of defendants, which included Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
Wow. Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
Thank you. To file a brief setting forth of detail the factual basis they have, if any, against allowing forensic inspection of the machines in those 3 counties. They have until Wednesday.
It's pretty crazy that they have to actually do like forensic. It's not they can't just plug it in and go beep 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 and look. They have to call it forensic.
Yeah, well, that's because they actually have to go into the code and see what was changed or manipulated.
Oh no,
if something was changed.
I understand, but I'm
yeah.
saying when everyone hears forensic, at least for me,
You're like NCIS.
yeah, you're thinking somebody's
CSI.
somebody's sitting there with a camel hair brush and some dust, and it's Ace Ventura, pet detective, trying to. Really?
Yeah, anyway,
that's what everyone's thinking.
Yep. With the duster and the whole thing. According to the order, in a hearing on Sunday, state officials demonstrated opposition to the forensic inspection of the machines and argued they don't have the authority to instruct county officials on the matter.
Oh, no.
In their emergency motion filed on Friday, plaintiffs argued that the vote count certified by Georgia officials last week, which declared Biden the winner of the state's 16 electoral votes over President Donald Trump, is wrong. Quote, tens of thousands of votes counted toward Vice President Biden's final tally were a product of illegality and physical and computer-based fraud, leading to the outright ballot stuffing, they stated. Quote, Georgia election process depends entirely on voting machines, tabulator, and software purchased from Dominion Voting Machine Systems Corporation that was compromised. Computerized voting, recording, and tabulations are controlled by software programs. They were designed to cheat, which actually, that is true.
Yep.
You can go and look at the owner's manual. It will tell you how to change votes.
Mm-hmm. And you think
it will tell you how to change votes.
You think nobody's done that? Come on.
And if you follow the instructions, you will find that 3:00 break where they took 2 hours is the exact time for reset to make sure the votes change over.
Yep.
It's a funny thing.
Isn't that a coinky dink?
How that happens. Anyway.
It's weird.
That's neither here nor there. Georgia election process depends entirely on the voting people, blah, 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 blah. Computerized vote recordings, tabulations are controlled by the software, blah, 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 blah.
Designed to cheat.
Yep. Batten noted, Batten?
Baton? I don't know. Yeah.
Baton?
I don't know.
Noted in his order that the defendants argued allowing such forensic inspection would pose substantial security and proprietary trade secret risk, which doesn't matter.
I was going to say,
at that point, it doesn't matter if it's a trade secret how they do their voting, and we're talking about a federal election.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
So these machines,
yes,
and as you say in the owner's manual and stuff, it has the instructions on how one could potentially cheat and do things like that.
Yep.
Don't you think that it should be beholden to the federal government, who are, I'm assuming, responsible for the votes that are cast in said machines, that they would come up and find and invest in machines that don't have that
feature?
Yeah.
Oh,
that maybe
maybe the ones that they got last year.
Or I don't know. Like there's
the last generation that
whatever.
Wasn't Dominion voting machines.
Sure, whatever. Or maybe a different company altogether.
Maybe.
Something that has been subjected to the government, that has been, scrutinized.
Oh, this was subjected to the government.
Obviously not.
No, it was.
And if it was.
It was. The government said we would be fine and dandy getting these voting systems that were made in Venezuela.
That were allowed and are designed to be manipulated.
Yes.
How does that work?
We would love and be fine with these. Actually, Dominion System says their voting machines have gone through our legislative body. And
I'm sure
they were ridiculed. There were questions, and people just kind of said, "No, screw it. We're going to do it anyway."
Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter. I hear the Chinese have invented a super quantum computer that can actually count votes. I wonder if we could borrow it from them, since they have no use for it.
It's funny that you say that, Kevin, because they must have borrowed that in Michigan, because they had a spike of like 17,000% voting.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a thing, and I don't know how accurate it was, but they were
1,700. Sorry, 1,700% voting spike.
Yeah.
Like above and beyond the amount of voting that you could tabulate in an hour.
Yeah, I'd heard something like that. I also heard that there was somebody had made the comparison of, they're talking about all the amount of votes and blah 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 that went to Biden. And
Yeah. Oh,
everything else.
percentage. It's not just the amount; it's the percentage. 99. Yeah, it was 99.3%, like, or 98.7. It was like 98.7% of the votes in those dumps.
Yeah.
All went to Biden.
Oh, of course.
You can't find, even in California, you can't find a percentage that anywhere close to that high.
No, that's insane. What I was getting to, the point they were trying to make was out of like the total number of votes that went to Biden, period. There was some kind of somebody had done some math somewhere, and it was on this video where they had done the math, and basically there was like an extra 20 million or something like that people.
Oh yeah,
because they actually compared like, okay,
he's at 80 million 80 million.
Yeah. But apparently
there's
like,
no way
over the past 4 years or the past 4 years, how many people would have,
actually voted,
been able to have reached voting age.
Yeah.
Mathematically it was
impossible.
There's an extra 20 million people that should not be there.
Right.
And
what
I don't
we're
know.
talking about is over 150 million people voted.
Yeah.
Right now. As it sits, over 150 million people voted if the votes are real.
Yes. And
that by itself
is
in
unprecedented.
any election, even in the biggest election that we've ever had, we've never had this many people vote.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I get they try to
in
make
the
it
history
easy.
of voting.
Yeah, and I get
the
they try to make it
percentage of population to the actual percentage of people that voted. Never have we ever had that higher percentage.
No. And again, I understand they tried to make it, air quotes, easier
Sure.
by, you could do it from home.
But
You
it's
don't have to
also
go nowhere.
very easy to lie.
But there's a lot. Okay, so how many of those are real people? How many of those are...
That's this thing.
And the whole thing is screwed up, and if they would just attempt some semblance of accountability and it would be so much better. People might start trusting things again, even if they're being lied to. They would at least start trusting things again. But nobody can trust anything nowadays.
Well, one thing you can trust?
What's that?
The cast and crew of the newest Spider-Man film was allowed into Atlanta schools.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The
Marvel Studios and Sony
were
was
allowed to go into schools.
to Frederick Douglass High School and Henry G. Grady High School.
Wait a minute.
Through January
Hold on.
and March, respectively, of this year.
Wait a minute. Hold on. January and March. Hold on.
Yeah, this year.
Schools were shut down.
Yes.
Nobody was allowed in schools.
Correct.
But because of COVID.
Uh-huh.
But Marvel could go in there.
Yes.
Sony and
Sony and Marvel.
You can make
could
a
go.
movie in a school, but you can't
actually go to
actually
school.
teach your children
Yes.
socialism.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Because
Capitalism rules.
priorities.
Well, capitalism rules.
How can see this is the weird thing that makes no sense to me.
They offered $50,000 more to the district and said, "Here, take it. We want to film in your school."
So it just doesn't make sense. These are the same people who sling socialism, who are all against the rich guy, who want wealth redistribution and all this crap.
They took the wealth from the rich guy and they redistributed it to themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. They didn't do anything. They used the very object that they can't stand.
Yep.
They utilized to their advantage.
Yeah.
In order to get something.
Yes.
And then will later complain and push their socialist agenda, through movies or whatever.
Yes.
Wow. Good on them. So that means that when you watch the new Spider-Man movie, whenever the hell that comes out,
Ever.
probably Christmas of next year, then you can actually sit and be happy to know that your kids couldn't go to school.
But Spider-Man sure could.
But Spider-Man was.
It was all good.
Good for him.
All good for the Spider-Mans.
Wow. I'm just...
Swiftly tilting slug. Did they go through the legislative body like the grocery store coffee?
I don't know.
It's about that harsh. Yeah.
It is about that
Yeah,
harsh.
pretty quick, too.
Guys, don't go to where there's more on the other side. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Kevin Hutchins over on Twitter's 80 million votes. JoJo, the presidential chip, couldn't draw flies at his rally.
It is true.
You
It
couldn't.
is very true.
There was nothing.
Literally, it was empty parking lots.
Mm-hmm. But, hey, 80 million votes.
For the most part, he stayed in his basement.
I don't want to go out today.
Did you hear he broke his foot?
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah, playing with his dog.
Did the dog step on his foot?
I think it crushed
Hold on. Don't tell me we have a Harry Reid.
I don't know.
Part 2?
Like he has 3 fractures.
Where he's going to turn around and he got hurt doing something he knows he shouldn't have done, but he's going to turn around and blame it on like the dog or exercise or something.
That's exactly what they're blaming it on, right? Yeah.
God.
They're blaming it on the dog right now.
It was probably something normal, like he was walking downstairs or he was carrying groceries or
Something stupid.
he was standing too close to the car as his family drove away. Something
Or he
dumb.
tried to stand up.
He farted and the flatulence turned around and made his leg shatter.
No, his foot.
It was his foot.
It was his foot.
Well, it traveled down his leg.
That's true. It just vibrated all the way through.
Got to the bottom of the foot. It had that,
nothing to cushion. So
there was nothing to cushion. It was a solid, hard floor, very little padding, and so the bones in the foot just went. So there you go.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. DOAEshow.com. That's DOAE show.com. That's our website.
It is our website.
Yeah,
and we've had it for a while.
We have had it for a while. And look, we're trying to expand us, obviously. We want to expand Mojo, but we also want to expand us, our viewers, our listeners, and all the rest of it. The one way that you can help us do that is to go to our website. Well, the
website?
Yeah, the DOAEshow.com.
Yeah.
There's twofold here. Go to our website, okay? You can, become a defender with us.
You can.
It's $5 a month, $50 a year. It helps us financially because it makes it so that we can also utilize new equipment, buy
not
new
just
things.
equipment. I discovered.
And we can also help you guys.
Well, I was going to say, in ways of doing that. So, to give you a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain, one of the things, I know it's weird, one of the things that we have talked about and wanted to do, and people have asked us before, is why we don't exactly have guests.
Right.
Okay?
We'd love to have more guests.
Part of the problem.
We can't afford to schedule those
That's
guests.
it.
When we say afford, we mean afford.
There is a guy, there is a gay conservative guy that I wanted to reach out to. And I actually did. I sent him an email and everything.
Yeah.
And it was even he is like, hey, you want my time, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, my
and
time costs money. And that makes sense.
It makes perfectly
sense. Fine.
But, that's what this is for. So in order for us to grow to be bigger and better and stronger and
to
blah, blah, blah.
to have these voices and everything else that we want to have on the show.
This is what helps.
Yes, this would help us get there. It also helps that if you on any of the social medias, even if it is you want to use the parlors or the parlays and all the
What
rest
is that?
of it.
Is it parlor or is it parlay?
Technically, it's parlay, but it's spelled parlor. So everybody says parlor because we're American. And screw you.
Screw you, phonics. We've had this conversation earlier today.
We are on Parler. We don't push a lot of stuff on Parler. We're on there. We're going to start doing a little bit more. We're also on the TikToks and all the social medias. If you can go to any of our social medias, like, comment, share, all the rest of that.
That helps too.
Or go to our website.
Almost as much, if not more sometimes,
than
the financial aspect.
Than the financial aspect.
Because we know money is tight, COVID.
Share our stuff. It helps us grow. Along with that, go to mojo50.com.
Please.
These guys supported us for the past, what? 2 years?
Going on 2 years.
It's almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. They've been underneath us for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, and regretting every minute of it.
I'm sure.
But hey,
at least they keep us going.
We're kind of we are to Mojo what a cocaine habit is.
To what's her face in Australia.
Yeah, you get to a point where you're just kind of like, you know what, I really shouldn't be. Or let's take it away from cocaine. It's a smoker. Just a regular smoker.
Just a smoker.
You get to a point where you're standing outside and you're smoking. You're like, God, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is not healthy for me. There's all this laundry list of stuff, but I'm in it now, so I might as well keep going. That's kind of how where works. We are.
Yes.
So there you go.
Right. B from the SUV. So if we pay, we get to hear less of you? No, more.
Well, it is because
and less, but more.
Yes, you'll
be able to. So if you pay, to become a Defender with us, not only are you going to get a shirt, you're going to get a shirt.
You do get a shirt.
One of our shirts. We're going to get the Arm Yourselves t-shirt for you.
Uh-huh.
You're going to get one of those. But you're also going to get a lot of brand new things that are coming down the pipe for this new year. So you're going to get to hear all the cool stuff that happens first. You're going to be part of a whole bunch of laundry list of things that we're doing.
Laundry.
Any of them, if even half of them get out the door, it's going to be amazing. So
my God.
Join us today. Have fun. Listen up and share.
There you go.
It'd be great. That's all. That's the pitch.
the gist.
We're done. We're done with it. It's the pitch.
That's all we're saying.
Where we're going.
It's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So there's COVID
Yes.
has kind of dominated our lives for the past
Year.
It's
Yes.
kind of what makes everyone love 2020. 2020 will go down in history. Up there, the years that will never be forgotten. The space launch, the Kennedy dying, getting shot,
Right.
World Wars I and II. The important things. The signing of Declaration. It's going to all be there.
Right.
2020 will be in those ranks in the annals of history.
The annals of time.
Annals of time.
Yes.
So they've, as we all know, and they've been pushing for it. They're trying to get a vaccine out, and
No, you don't say.
I do say. Well, it's been going.
They
around
don't
for a
say.
while.
I mean, come on.
There's been, it's been going.
Actually,
around for a
next
while.
week, supposedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Maybe.
So there's a thing I was reading from CNBC. It kind of made me giggle.
Okay.
So I'm going to take you on a little journey
Take you on a trip.
in our favorite rocket ship.
Running
Blasting
through the skies. Yeah.
Little Einstein. So just bear with us. Strap down. It's going to be fun.
President-elect James, before you get there. No, DOA show. Go back to the cocaine reference. At Real Brad Staggs loves hookers and blow.
That's true.
Very
That is
true.
so true.
Very true.
He does love his cocaine hookers
And blow.
Well, that's cocaine is
And
blow.
hookers and blow.
And blow and blow and hookers.
And,
That's true.
and hookers that blow.
That's true. I mean, if your hooker doesn't blow, you're not paying her enough. I'm just saying.
Well, that's really sad because that's like a first-time deal, isn't it?
You would
I
think-
don't know. I've never done this before, but
this is kind of like the opening thing. Yeah, that's kind of the
isn't
minimal
that the
line.
opener gauge? That's like, all right,
That's
it's
the
like
minimal before they even-
$20 same as downtown, and then you add pricing to that, right?
Yeah, that is kind of the springboard to launch into other things because otherwise they're not getting in the car.
right.
It doesn't work that way.
It's one way or another, I guess. I don't know.
It's weird.
You got to work up to that. What is it?
Apparently, in those hard to reach, those hard hit places of the world,
Hard to reach, hard hit area.
the hard hit areas of the country, you do have to work up to that. Because time is money.
Well, handsy,
A little
handsy.
A little. Public health officials and drug makers need to warm people up. Or warn people. They
Warn
need to,
people.
They will warm them up.
Yeah.
To the fact that coronavirus vaccine shots may have, some rough side effects. So they know what to expect and aren't scared away from getting the second dose. That is what doctors urged during a meeting on Monday with CDC advisors.
Yes. Hold on. Time out.
Yes.
Time out.
Yeah.
You're telling me that a vaccine is going to have side effects?
Especially one that has been rushed in such a short amount of time.
Not only one that's going to be rushed, but a vaccine that utilizes the virus as the cure.
Similar to the flu.
Similar to the flu.
Yeah, the flu.
You're saying that vaccine is going to have some side effects.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what are we talking about here?
Well, let's see.
Like dry mouth? I mean...
artificial insemination, anal leakage, all the important stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, all right.
It is. Well,
migraines, whatever.
Your left foot falls off and grows another leg on top of that one.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. What are we talking about?
You're like a single-celled organism. You split and you make them into another one. The recommendations come as states prepare to distribute the potentially life-saving vaccine
Yes.
as early as next month.
Okay.
Dr. Sandra Freihofer,
Nailed it.
thank you, of the American Medical Association said both Pfizer and Moderna's, I like that better. COVID vaccines require 2 doses. That's 2. Count them 1, 2
One.
at varying intervals. I know. As a practicing physician, she said she worries whether her patients will come back for a second dose because the potentiality of unpleasant side effects that they may experience coming from the first shot. Quote, we really need to make patients aware that this is not going to be a walk in the park. That is according to Freihofer during the virtual meeting with the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, an outside group of medical experts that advise the CDC. I've never understood that. I thought the CDC had like the best of the best of the best of the best. So why are they getting outside sources?
Because they're not.
Yeah, I agree.
They're a bunch of paper pushers at the CDC. That's what they're for.
What? This is dangerous? Okay.
Once again, we were talking about this before the show. I hate middle management.
That's all the CDC
With
is.
a passion. I hate middle management. That is 90% of the government.
Yep. She is also a liaison to said committee. Quote, they're going to know they had a vaccine. They're probably not going to feel wonderful, but they've got to come back for that second dose. End quote. Participants.
First shot's free?
Yeah, well, your first one's always free. Participants in Moderna and Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine trials told CNBC in September that they were experiencing high fever.
Oh, really?
Body aches, bad headaches, day-long exhaustion.
Oh, so massive fatigue.
And other symptoms after receiving the shots.
Other symptoms.
While the symptoms were uncomfortable and at times intense, the participants said they often went away after a day, sometimes sooner, and that it was better than getting COVID-19. Now, I want to pause right there for just a moment.
Right.
Did the people who get this vaccine ever actually have COVID is what I would like to know.
No.
Probably not.
No. They're not supposed to have.
No, but I'm saying, how can you sit there and say it's better than getting COVID if you've never had it?
Because there are a ton of people that got COVID that had no symptoms at all.
Yeah. No, and we're going to... I'll talk to you about that. Anyway, I have an idea for something like that.
All right, sure.
Both companies acknowledge that their vaccines could induce side effects that are similar to the symptoms associated with mild COVID-19, such as muscle pain and chills and headache.
Oh, that's like any cold.
Kind of like, when you get the flu
cold
shot.
Or a flu shot.
That's why I haven't gotten the flu shot since 2001. Because the last time I got it, I got the flu. And actually, no, it's not entirely true. I think it was 2005. Anyway, the last time I got it, and times before that, I would get the flu shot because, you got to get the flu shot. And every time I get the flu shot, I would get dog sick. For when we're talking upwards of almost a week, 2 weeks. Like,
doesn't that suck?
Yeah. We're talking
terrible, dude.
That deep down,
like you are dead.
Gutter crawling, commode hugging sick.
Like bad.
Chills.
Not getting out of bed.
Fever through the roof and freezing your tail off. Like,
Somehow
body aches,
both.
feel like you've been hit by a truck, all of that jazz.
Yeah.
And so one day I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting this. I'm not going to. And ever since then, don't get me wrong, I may have gotten the flu since then.
Maybe.
But honest to God, it lasts a day or two. And I'm done. And it really is. It's one of those things where, if I feel, and we had it, matter of fact, last year, this time last year, I had to leave
couple
work,
days, yeah.
had to leave work early. And I went home and I took a hot shower and I took some NyQuil and I slept. Within 2 days, I was back on my feet and ready to go.
Yes. And that's mainly because that second day I was like, no, stay home.
Yeah, I know. Well, and then we were off after that. So it's like, it worked out really good.
He said, no, stay home.
But it was true. And then by the time I came back, I was fine. And so for me, and then not everybody has those side effects, but for me, it was bad enough to not do it. But anyway, one North Carolina woman on the Moderna study who is in her 50s, because that's what you want to do is you want to subject the older generation to this thing first, because if she croaks, then this is probably not a good thing to happen.
work.
But she said that she didn't experience a fever, but suffered a bad migraine. It left her drained for a day and unable to focus. She said she woke up the next day feeling better after taking Excedrin, but added that Moderna may need to tell people to take a day or so off after a second dose. Now, quote, if this proves to work, people are going to have to toughen up.
Right.
Which I find ironic to say when there is nothing about the American society that is remotely tough. Anyway, quote, the first dose is not a big deal. And then the second dose will definitely put you down for a day for sure. You will need to take a day off for work for the second dose. End quote. I'm sorry, but I thought
The first dose is the deepest.
it usually goes deepest. I've never understood why, in this instance, why do you need 2?
I don't know. I think it's because the first one doesn't actually take.
Well, no, I don't
It just prepares your body for the rest of the crap.
either that or that first dose is just like a placebo, and they might be injecting you with a way to track it to make sure you got it done.
Right.
I mean, that's a little conspiratorial, I know.
Right. Well, if you want to go conspiratorial, there are a couple of Twitter posts here.
Sure.
Things like this. Zantac was featured approved medicine for heartburn. There are no lawsuits now.
Oh, there are.
There are lawsuits now. The COVID vaccine rewrites your DNA. I don't know how that was correlated there. But then also the vaccine is like plugging in a random USB card into your PC without auto-exe file. You can't stop.
And that only works for those of you who are coding nerds. And
Yeah, the computer literate folks.
yeah, I have no idea what the hell that means. I'm sure that's funny, but I can't. I don't
It's not funny. It's actually scary as hell.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's literally like an auto start feature and like, boop, rewrite.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's saying that it's going to like basically destroy your DNA.
Oh, good.
Big Pharma Steve over there on the Twitters also reporting side effects, chills that seem to increase in frequency. I got chills. They're multiplying.
Are you losing control?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand the point of having that second dose. That does honestly bother me. But at this point, I mean, are we really worried about a drug of any kind nowadays and about the side effects of them?
I want a new drug.
I want a new drug too.
One that doesn't make me sick.
But you can't have that. I was watching, there's so many different ones. They turn around and say, hey, if you have this form of cancer, we're going to give you that you can apply to try and get this medication. The downside to this medication is, they say, the upside of the medication is it helps people to live longer without having to do chemo. The downside is you can develop other forms of rare cancer that
you wouldn't normally form.
You wouldn't normally get. There was you have your liver will shrivel up and die if you're not careful. I mean, literally the side effects of this particular drug, and I can't remember.
Right. I know which one you're talking about because
it's like begin with an R or something.
They were making a big stink about it, like you can get cancer free without having to chemo. Yeah, you know how you can get cancer free without having to chemo? There is a system of radio waves that you can utilize. There's a system that you can utilize that utilizes radio waves, radio wave frequencies that actually can stimulate certain metals in the body.
Yeah.
So like you can put gold flake in your body and digest it. Gold flake is attracted to cancerous cells, funny enough.
Weird.
And you could then use that radio frequency to heat up the gold
and basically cook the
cancer out of you.
There's a lot of ways that I'm sure
and
it could be done.
It works. That was back from the 1950s.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that you could do.
By the way, the doctor that created that was subsequently killed.
Oh, God. He tragically died.
He tragically died in an accident after he wouldn't sell his patent.
He accidentally shot himself twice in the back of the head.
Something like that. Yeah. And all records about that device were sealed for like 50 years.
Oh, I'm sure. And they're still not going to utilize it because again, they're all about the money. It's if you're healthy, then they can't make money off of you. And that's the sad part that we're at. But it fascinates me that people will still sit here and are worried. This little bit of, you're going to feel like you have COVID. Well, if I'm going to feel like I have COVID, then I'm going to get COVID. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but if I'm going to do this, I would rather my body take on and do the way God designed it to do, which is fight off the infections and fight off all this stuff because it was designed for this stuff. Okay? I would rather do that and take that risk and then come out on the other side because I'm confident. I'm not a doctor. I have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express
once or twice,
at least once or twice. I'm confident in my belief on this that my body is designed that if I can take on said COVID and could come out on it on the other side, similar to having chicken pox and whatever, that the next time I'm around it, my body will be able to then have built up an actual true tolerance to it, and I will be able to stave it off a little bit better. Hence,
That is actual herd immunity. In essence,
the same thing that it applies with the flu. That's one of the reasons why when I get the flu now, it doesn't hurt or take me down as long, because my body is used to it.
we should have flat out encouraged everybody to have COVID parties. You remember chicken pox parties?
Yeah, I do. Or close to, or similar to where like my mom, when we were kids, anybody that she ever found out had chicken pox and we didn't.
Going to their house.
Oh, we're not only are we going to their house, here, drink after that cup.
Right there.
But it doesn't matter, but drink from their cup.
Yeah.
Hey, little Timmy, kiss my kid over here.
Right on the cheek.
Give him a kiss right on the cheek. Yep.
Spit in their eye.
Hug each other. Hug them real tight.
Oh yeah, rub your hair right into their face.
Yeah, and then you walk away and it was miserable for a week or so, and then it was done.
And you were fine.
And it was over.
And now you get shingles when you're 70.
But you know what? I still have my liver. I don't have anal leakage, and I have not been artificially inseminated. So
All true.
all good.
And your DNA has not been rewritten.
Which is that part of it, going back, I did want to touch on that for a second. The whole DNA being rewritten, according to comic books, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. I wonder what superpower I would get.
There actually is, like, they can actually rewrite your DNA nowadays.
I know.
So speaking of science, Iran had a scientist.
You what?
Iran?
Oh, Iran, the country.
The country. Iran had a scientist.
I thought you were like missing some words, like you ran with a scientist.
Iran had a scientist.
This sounds like the beginnings of a bad joke.
It really is. It really is. No. And he was taken out during an attack on Friday.
Oh no.
Yes.
So they have no more scientists?
No,
was that too soon?
that's not it. No. See, this scientist was portrayed to the public as a university professor and an academic.
Oh no, he was a very elite, Iranian scientist.
Yes, except for that's not what he was.
He wasn't.
No.
No?
He was the driving mind behind Iran's nuclear weapon program.
But that still makes him a scientist.
But he's not just like this peaceable scientist. He's developing nuclear weapons.
What?
Excuse me, nuclear weapons for Iran. Yeah, scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh.
Wow. You better watch how you say that last name again.
I know, right?
Because I know how I want to say it, but I'm not paying Beth $20.
Fakhrizadeh. That's it. Who was eliminated while driving his black sedan through the Iranian countryside, was reportedly considered to be on the same level of importance as in the Islamic regime as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' General Qasim Soleimani.
Wow. You do remember that, right?
Suleiman?
Yeah. From Jack. Yeah. No, I just find it funny. I like how they say he was eliminated. I know they're trying to be classy, and this is from the Daily Wire. They're trying to be different. They don't want to be like...
Well, no, he was terminated.
Grotesque or over the top. I'd have been like, they killed his ass.
They shut that sucker up. Yeah.
His head went that way. His arm went that way. We found a toe. That's all we found.
Quote, Iran never agreed to demands for the International Atomic Energy Agency, for the United Nations Nuclear Monitor, or to let the UN inspector question Mr. Fakhrizadeh.
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like it.
Saying he was an academic who lectured at the Imam Hussein University in Tehran. The New York Times reported that Mr. Fakhrizadeh was...
So you're starting to throw a little bit of a Japanese thing into it.
I know, it's just going too fast. I'm going too hard on the lines. That's fine. Who was considered an academic, but a series of classified reports now. Notably, a lengthy 2007 assessment assessment done. Sorry. Done
I got
by the
excited for a
CIA.
moment.
I know, right? Done by the CIA for George W. Bush administration, said that the academic role was a cover story. In 2008, his name was added to the list of Iranian officials whose assets were ordered frozen by the United States.
So Iran lied to us? They lied? Wait a minute, not Iran.
Iran lied.
Iran would not lie to us.
And people died.
Because we paid them for some $40 billion or $4 billion or whatever the hell that was that Obama sent over on planes, on pallets.
Yeah.
And in the dead of night.
See, Iran's really pissed off because Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu revealed a whole bunch of classified information about this guy and blew his cover.
We found out the truth. Neener.
Yeah, and now we're posting it everywhere.
He got doxxed.
He got doxxed in the worst, universally doxxed. He got internationally doxxed.
And that's why he died.
And actually, that is why he died.
Because they found him and went, oh, you son of a bitch.
So Iran is very pissed off at Israel now.
Shocker. Iran has always been pissed off at Israel.
Now they're even more pissed off at Israel because Israel was the reason why they lost their top nuclear scientist.
We were going to make weapons, and now
we're still going to make weapons and kill you.
It's just going to take a little bit longer.
That's right.
That's so stupid. It's so stupid.
That's how it is.
Big Pharma Steve. I was really expecting and I ran
so far away. Yeah, sorry. We skipped it.
Yeah, we did. It was...
It could have been.
My brain was at other jokes, but honest to God, it did for a split second eke its way into my skull and then went right back out the other ear.
Yeah, it just went in the ear, out the other.
Kevin Hutchins also on Twitter is Dr. Fauci used to talk about the herd immunity.
Herd immunity?
Herd immunity. The party shut him up real quick. Quote, you idiot, you got to keep this COVID thing going if you want to get Trump out of office. And if you want to keep a job. To be perfectly honest
you really
with you.
need to keep your job, Fauci, if you want to.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up.
Herd immunity.
Herd immunity. Herd immunity do what? I couldn't resist that one.
That was good. What herd immunity do?
Swiftly tilting slug. He wasn't driving through the Iranian countryside. He was driving along the Iranian-Syrian border. Draw your own conclusions.
That's the countryside.
It's the side of the country.
It's literally the side of the country.
That's what we were after.
Wasn't that true?
Yeah.
Did we overstate?
We didn't lie. We said it exactly what it was.
Donna over the Facebook. I play D&D on a real board with real dice and real props.
I like doing that better.
I did that too.
I like doing that better than the whole digital thing we've been trying to do. I don't like it.
It's okay though.
That, and I think there's way too many people in our party, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, yeah, it's been bad.
And I don't like it.
It's been
the
bad.
associations are not
I think we
very-
might need to cut ties.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe. Okay, let's do numbers. Let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count grade for the weekend. Over the weekend, we had 5 missed innuendo bells for free nuts and put a lid out. 18 actual bells and 2 2020 $10. Giving us an A for the day. Peace out, boys. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving weekend. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good. It could have been a lot better. I didn't really like it. It was pretty terrible. It was bad. It was awful. It was terrible. Get him away! Hey!